Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York. And in the last episode, guys, through Padraic's eyes, we saw the meeting at the temporary Elysium where the prince and the primogen of the Camarilla basically revealed that everything had been a bit of a ruse to get Reynard Cassel out in the open. And Callie, as you can imagine, was not happy about that and vanished into the night. Now, I'm very interested to see what we kind of observe now because we had no idea what happened to Padraic during all of this. So, let's see what happens here. Callie is predictably long gone by the time I exit the temporary Elysium. I decide to head back to the Bronx, but my journey is slow. I can feel as if I'm wading through a bog, so mired I can barely put one foot in front of the other. The voices in my head are screaming at me with no reprieve. I spin my ring until it grows hot with friction. It's silenced for a while, but it never lasts. They are different this time somehow. It's as if they can't make up their minds. That's never happened before. Usually each voice, although distinct, carries the same message, pushes me towards the same urge, tries to lead me astray. But not tonight. Tonight I can barely catch what they say at all, knotted up as they are in some incomprehensible cacophony. I don't understand. What's happening? What's changed? Callie. Yes, Callie. I halt mid-step, looking absently at the dim, colorful lights of the city. I guess we at least deserve our goodbyes, don't we? I should find her, if I only knew where she had gone. Her motorhome, Vion. The conversation. We all deserve our goodbyes. Callie's motorhome seems like the most likely spot where I'll still have a chance to catch her before she flees New York City for good. The voice implies as much, at least. Or are we getting right into the conflict? I managed to track Callie's RV down without much trouble, the voice leading me around like a dog on a leash. Still, I approached the car slowly, hesitantly. I don't know what to tell her. I should probably start with an apology, but what then? It's not as if I can divulge all the information she'll likely request. Some things should remain secret, even to oneself. I'm an undead heartbeat away from just getting on with it when a strange sound reaches my ears. No, not strange, just unfamiliar. There's someone else in the RV with Callie. I should probably go. She doesn't owe me a goodbye, nor is she obliged to listen to my explanations. And eavesdropping is just so indecorous. However, I drop on my knees and silently creep closer. Laid the groundwork, but we might need to improvise. That's where you come in. That tone of voice, deceptively light, manipulative, and downright vile. I need someone sharp, someone with a knack for thinking on the fly, someone who... Could it be? That's us, Callie. We'll dance around Vritra's thugs and snatch that vial right from under their noses. A flood of thoughts rushes through my brain so fast that I feel myself getting dizzy. What's going on? Why would Cassel appear now? Why was he waiting for the attack on Elysium? Was he directly involved? So, what do you say? Did Callie know all along? No, that's preposterous. I saw how genuinely heartbroken she was by our discoveries. And yet, I hope she was being genuine at least, but perhaps it was all one big, masterful con. It doesn't seem that way. She's not answering Reynard's questions. What does he want from her again? To join his heist? Cassel laid the groundwork for something to track Vritra's thugs? Yes, to get the vial, whatever that is. I remember Vritra saying that Cassel's been working on some delicate matters for her. It seems those matters matter not to him. Cassel plans to dupe her. Oh, the irony. All he needs is Callie to play a part in his plan. Think about it, Callie. It's not just about doing the job. It's about proving we're the shit. fulfilling our true destiny. What an absolute asshole. But Callie keeps silent for a while. Don't be stupid, Callie. Think about it carefully. You know he's a crook. Listen to reason, Callie. So, you in? What do you think, asshole? Never a straight answer with her, is it? But Cassel seems to be satisfied. I hear him get up and leave. Cloak of Shadows. I freeze in place, staring wide-eyed at the door of the RV, perfectly invisible against its ghastly paint job. Cassel exits the RV a few minutes later, followed by a huge Doberman that sticks its legs like glue. As they both disappear into the night, I can't help wondering if Cassel treats all his minions well, or if their blind devotion is simply the result of grooming. My thoughts are soon interrupted by Callie driving away in an RV. Stay or go? Should we stay or should we go now? Let's go. Before I can even formulate a thought, I sprint out to the vehicle. But just as suddenly, I come to a halt. I'm utterly, insufferably confused. Like, what should I do? Go. Yes, lad. Go. Run. Go. Run. 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 So what if I go? Stay. Don't move, lad. Stay right here. Stay. Stay. So what if I stay? Do something. Do something. Do something. Easy, Fionn. Easy. Alright. Alright. Calm down and think. The damning intel we dug up on Cassel paints him as an inexcusably bad light. And as reckless as she may be, Callie is not naive, even though her sire seems to be one of her blind points. Why would she still follow Cassel, given everything she knows now? Hasn't she learned from past mistakes? Any trouble Cassel stirs up ultimately traces back to Vritra and, by unfortunate proxy, to me. What a mess. And it's all his damn fault. Or is it? It seemed that Cassel merely intends to interrupt the heist already put in motion by Vritra, and she embodies every quality past shady on the spectrum of vileness. Can I really say she's any better than Cassel? I nearly slapped the side of my head. What a silly question. I need to stop kidding myself. Vritra is the only one who has ever helped me get closer to understanding my voice. Even if she keeps withholding the information she owes me, she will. She definitely will. Last time I spoke with her, she seemed adamant that the delicate matters handled by Cassel were crucial to her reaching some higher state of being, and in turn, giving me the knowledge I seek. Everything comes down to that vial. Well, if making sure Vritra gets the vial means an end to my eternal torment, I sure as hell am willing to pay the price for it. No matter what it is. No matter what it is. I straighten up and start walking toward the river. Vritra needs to know about Cassel's intentions, and I'll be the one to tell her. Vile as she is, she appreciates loyalty above all else. I just hope Callie heeds reason and steers clear of Asiah's path of self-destruction. Dangerous Liaisons Part 3. Vritra is the only one who has ever brought me closer to understanding my voice. It's well worth informing her of Reynard Cassel's nefarious plans for tomorrow. Vritra remains perfectly poised throughout my report, as still as a lake on a frigid winter's day. Only her eyes, cold, black, alien as they come, burn with the scorching fires of hatred and fury. Finally, after a long, heavy silence, she suddenly whips her head around and points at the henchman who accosted Callie and me a few nights ago. He shudders and shrinks as if struck. Gather Reynard's crew. The same one you assigned him, mistress, but... One glare is enough to send him scrambling away. The rest of Vritra's henchmen stand perfectly still and straight, as if the smallest movement would result in obliteration. Knowing her, I'd say it's a valid assumption. What are you going to do? Now it's my turn to be on the receiving end of her piercing glare. I should really learn when to shut my gob. Let me be perfectly clear. Reynard Cassel deserves whatever punishment you have in store for him, and more. But Callie is just another victim of his lies. I can talk some sense into her. Vritra silences me with a curt gesture, her fan slicing axe-like through the air. You must have mistaken me for someone who cares. If you truly want the answers you seek, you will stand back and do nothing. Do you understand, boy? There's nothing I can really do but nod in silent agreement. With a wave of a hand, our meeting is done and I am unceremoniously escorted out. I stare into the dark waters, waiting for the RIB to arrive, but all I can see is fog slowly rising before my eyes. Snow falls softly, dusting my shoulders like I'm some decrepit statue. But I don't care. I don't know what to do. Questions about my voices have haunted me for over a century. Decades upon decades of desperately searching. First for a way to silence the cacophony in my head, then to understand why that one voice refuses to yield. Years wasted on the unknown. No clues, no knowledge, nothing. And now when I'm so close to finally unraveling this mystery, when all the answers are just within my grasp, do I give it all up just so Callie receives a warning? What do I gain, aside from a false sense of decency to assuage the gnawing guilt? Tell her! No, lie. Forget about her. I can't even be bothered to reach for my ring. We are more important than that whelp, that runt, that girl. And the voice is suspiciously silent. No. We need to help her. Whispers rattle around my head until I can't distinguish my thoughts from the voices, skittering around like rats in a cage. Hours, centuries, eons pass, and I remain without an answer. Meanwhile, how much longer do you reckon he'll hold on? Hunter Assembly HQ. Oh. His, descent down the flagpole was rather swift. Just a few more inches and it'll run him through completely. Pity. I thought he'd last longer. It seems Aaron Fletcher doesn't live up to his reputation. Speak your mind, Harpy. I'm merely trying to ensure that you're well, Sheriff. Your efforts here have been nothing short of exemplary. A masterful display of leadership. We dispatched those hunters with remarkable efficiency. Just look at the mound of their fallen. It's taller than both of us put together. All achieved, no less, without the Anarch's help. Speaking of which, did our mediator even bother trying to justify their absence? No, he didn't. Oh. Well, that certainly puts a dramatic stake in our truce, wouldn't you say? Arturo, my patience wears thin of late, even more so for sycophants. Speak plainly, or get out of my sight. See, this is precisely my point. And what might that be? Oh, I think you know. With Payne out of the picture and Panhardt's influence virtually non-existent, there's no kindred strong enough to challenge you now. Wouldn't you agree, Prince Kadir al-Asmai? Ooh, that's Arturo's game. Okay, in the night. Night 7. New Year's Eve. That's where it all starts to kick off. In spite of last night's paralysis, the second my eyes open, I've already made my choice. Clear as the night sky. I'm accustomed to acting against my inner voices, to following the paths they bar, to hearing only the words that lead the truth. It's my nature to defy anyone else's choice, and that's exactly what I shall do. I shall defy the world. I do it for myself, not because of lofty goals and prevarications, or the promise of a better future if my predictions come true. No, I want my answers, the ones that have been haunting me for so long. Staying in the way of those two ravens might be tantamount to suicide, but I'll be damned if I stand by idly when my very identity is at stake. If things go my way, nobody will have to get hurt, especially Callie. Whatever scheme Cassel has concocted most likely includes her final death, by design. But that doesn't matter. His plan won't come to fruition, because I will do everything to ensure that Vritra gets her prize, and then all will be revealed. And then we'll see how good I really am at weathering the wrath of the storm. Burned man. My thoughts are hazy, my mind filled with a cacophony of voices, but my purpose remains clear. I have to find the ravens and secure the vial for Vritra, no matter what it takes. No matter what it takes. I don't know how long I've been sitting here, behind the wheel. Frankly, I don't recall getting into my perfectly serviceable car, as Callie calls it. Everything has been hazy ever since I left the doorstep of my haven. My fingers are virtually fused to my ring, endlessly spinning, grappling with the endless clamor in my head. It feels as though hours have passed with me staring blankly through the windscreen, my car shifting gears on its own, my hands gripping the steering wheel with none of my attention. My instincts have taken over, completely. This detachment is so unlike my usual self, it almost makes me dizzy. Or perhaps what I'm feeling is excitement. Honestly cannot tell. 'Cause you don't know feckin' nothing, do ya? 20. It's a miracle I haven't hit anyone yet. The streets are crawling with mortals tonight. How come? Ah, right. It's New Year's Eve. I don't even know when I turned the music on. It must have been some time ago because the tape has already reached its end, the capstan rattling as it struggles with the worn magnetic strip. Curious, I eject the cassette. Queen mixtape. I turn it over, insert side B and press play. I instantly recognize the Samba opening synth. It's funny how fitting the song is. I'm not sure I know where I'm headed. Let us guide you, Fionn. Yeah, I shall. But as the song goes, the dawn is almost breaking, and if I'm to follow this through to the end, the show must indeed go on. Careful, Fionn. I slam on the brakes the moment a frantic woman collides with the bonnet of my car. Before I can even step out, another frightened mortal scoops her up and they both disappear into the scattering crowd. Then the rattle of gunfire pierces the air like sinister fireworks. The first thought that hits me sends a shiver down my spine. Did Cassel's plan backfire? Oh, she's done for. Another bitch bites the dust. Do-do. I am inured to the sound of gunfire, but in this moment, it pierces my mind like a violent sound wave, breaking the walls of my composure, echoing with urgent questions. Is she... Did they secure the vial? You'll get nothing, lad. Nothing. Shite. I slam the door behind me and dash into the alleyway, dodging and weaving through the mass of panicked mortals, occasionally shoving them away. When the crowd becomes too dense, too chaotic to navigate, I leap onto a fire escape, grabbing it halfway up the second floor, and pull myself up onto the roof of a nearby building. Nobody even notices me. They're all fleeing in terror. My mind races with questions, matching the frantic pace of my feet as I sprint across rooftops. 2, 3, 5 buildings, leaping from one to the next. And then I spot it. A grisly scene beside an unmarked van, surrounded by a couple of armed men surveying the area. Most likely the sad, and they're visibly tense. They assess the damage, standing over a few fallen agents lying in puddles of their own blood. It flows slowly down the street, merging with another crimson stream that steeps out from an already decaying corpse. Little Callie had a big-ass fall. Is this It cannot be. The day star hath yet not yet cometh. It's not Callie. Of course not. Now I see it clearly. She must have fled, perhaps following her cursed sire, this plague upon the world. Pale in the undead flesh, who probably has the vial in his diabolical hands. Oh, but 'tis Pill who holds the truth. My ring stops spinning just as another car scratches to a halt. 3 more sad squad members jump out, guns at the ready. And judging by the chat on their radios, there are more en route. Just as I duck behind the parapet, my eye catches a faint, reddish glint down below. A blood trail leading into an inconspicuous alleyway. No more than a few drops, but it's unmistakable. The trail leads vaguely south, towards the distant trees of Central Park, all shrouded in a thick layer of snow and laden with even more questions. And then, not far off, I spot an armed squad following the trail, so vivid to me and yet completely indiscernible to them, like mole rats caught in full sunlight. I could easily outrun them. Run, Vion. And so I run, like the beast I am, hungry not for blood, but for deliverance. I find Cassel a few minutes later. Sprawled on the ground in the growing pool of his own vitae lies the man who almost conned the world. Or what's left of him, rather. Too late, delayed, out of date. Callie is nowhere to be seen. A sign of relief escapes me, a useless but welcome sensation, quickly followed by a nagging fear that I can't quite put into words. She tricked you, you stupid, blind idiot. I walk past the remnants of a bloodbath, the headless corpse of a kindred I know as Vritra's ship, and a few steps further, Thomas, his neck savagely bitten through, likely by the dog that now lies dead beside him. Clutching my ring, I approach Cassel and begin a restless search of his remains. I rummage through every pocket, every fold, even the lining of his coat, every conceivable place where he could have hidden that vial. He must have it. He must, because she couldn't. Help! I jerk back, almost stumbling, but quickly resume my frantic search. How did I miss him still being conscious? The vial. Where is it? It's gone, gone forever and ever. Do I look like I have it on me? You fucking... How come you're always losing shit, lad? The ring spins and then spins again as I try to will it to do my bidding, but it just won't land on 20. Where is it? So this is your play, huh? Trying to coerce Vritra. One of us. A sudden jolt of pain seizes him, erasing his sneer and forcing his teeth, or what remains of them, to clamp down on his tongue as if they would sever it. She tricked you. That lying skank. Hill, man, and myth. Callie has it. She took what's mine. You're lying. You're lying, I'm lying, he's lying, she's lying, everybody's lying. He lets out a gurgling, wheezing laugh, like a deflated balloon, barely manages to keep his eyes on me. And I just stand there, paralyzed, unable to think. Am I? The asking is yours. Where is she? But the answer is not his. He flashes a toothless crimson grin at me, insufferably smug. What a vile mug. Come on, don't let him insult you. End him. End it. I just want to wipe that grin off with my heel. And so I do, smashing his already battered nose even further, sending his shattered body flying, and silencing his nonsense momentarily. That's for Callie, you wanker. Yet, satisfaction eludes me, replaced only by sheer frustration over the lack of answers. Where did Callie go? Look at you go. Such an angry, angry boy. I just need a moment with her to explain things. She'll see reason. I know I can reach her, if only there was a way. She hates you. She remembers your every word. Roll 16. Bollocks. She can't be far. She's likely skulking in the shadows, staying low, escaping. Or you'll never find her, fucko. Never. If only this clamor in my head ceased for one fecking minute, I could sense her, feel her presence. Roll 6. Roll 11. Come on. Roll 3. Roll 20. Finally. Silence. Serenity. Where is she? I strain my mind, extending my consciousness beyond the confines of my physical form, expanding it until it fills my surroundings. Nothing. She's not here. She must have... There. Heading south, right at the edge of my awareness. Moving fast. Fiendishly fast. If only I could catch... The excruciating pain in my shoulder suddenly breaks the communion with my mind. I glance at my chest. The gunshot wound, clean through. The edge is searing with pain and burns. It's sad. The cacophony in my mind escalates into a constant, droning, maddening, crippling pandemonium. Try as I might, coherent thought is just impossible. Another shot grazes my arm, the bullet passing by with a flaming tail that briefly illuminates the scene, leaving a searing mark on my coat. I don't stay to give them a third chance. I am Legion. I am none. I strain every fiber of my being to suppress the torment pain in my arm and hide in the liminal spaces between the edges of the bullets, reflected them 1,000-fold, but unseen by the shooters. Hunched over like a wounded panther, I dash away, the shadows like wings sprouting from my back. The further from this madness, the better. Fatigue gets the better of me as I'm leaving through the Artisan's Gate, right to where I sense Callie's presence. But she's not here. The droning noise intensifies by the minute, making a jumble of my already frantic thoughts, and I desperately need to think clearly. I'll never find Callie like this. I can't comb through the entire city with the vague hope of stumbling upon her again. Is this how it ends? Will the answers once again slip from my grasp? Maybe I could... Maybe... This is not the end, Fionn. It sure looks like one. Find the Raven. How? Where do I start? Where can I find her? But you do know, Fionn. The thunderous roar of thousands of voices cheering for the new year reverberates through the streets. It's past midnight, but I'm past having doubts. You know. Yeah. I think I do. I think I do. Ooh, Shadow of the Day Star. This is it, guys. This is going to be the big conflict. So now, I mean, we've seen the story change, right? Between Callie's version and Padraic's version. Maybe it'll change for Padraic. We don't know. But I guess we'll find out in the next and potentially final episode. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.